Welcome all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily Culture. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and with us on the studio is Klaudia Kwaśny, a vocalist, an artist, and a mother in a run, I would say. You just left two of your kids at home to come here and be with us in the studio and tell us about your artistic career, which we thank you very much to you, because I know what sort of sacrifice you're doing right now. But tell us, because you have a very unique story. You studied singing and you studied opera singing in London, and that's how, with many paths, you ended up back in Poland right now performing.
Yes, I must sort of straighten it up a little bit.
Okay.
Not in London, but in Glasgow, in the Royal, at the time, Academy, but it then transferred into Conservatoire of Scotland, and then I moved to London after I finished my studies. I moved to London to start working, basically.
Okay, there's a huge difference. Scotland is... they could be...
It's still Britain.
It's still Great Britain. But so why did you decide to actually choose this path and go to Scotland there to school and not to choose something in Poland?
Well, I did think of studying in Poland, but I think as a young girl I had this thought in myself that I just have to go abroad, and at the time people were moving and I always dreamt of studying abroad. I just didn't know where, and I think the personal circumstances moved me to Scotland. Scotland has a great academy, and at the time it was that you didn't have to pay for the studies because it was Scotland, so it's the difference between Scotland and England. In England, you do have to pay a lot of money to study. In Scotland, there are ways that you can fund yourself, still work and still study. So I got into that program. Then I had a scholarship. I was still working, and I was able to afford it by myself. And I think that's a great program that I had. That's why Scotland, I think.
So what was the tuition there, and how you? I mean, not the price, but just the way of basically teaching you. What when you also had this chance that you studied a little bit here in previously you had your primary education in Poland, then you had this chance to study there, so you know how to compare it. So tell us, what was this difference in the way of learning?
I think for me, the main difference was that teachers there were treating you a little bit different. It wasn't as if here I was somebody little and with a little talent, and I have this big grand professor and I have to kind of be a little grey mouse and learn from them. In there I really felt encouraged and was taken with the talent that I had. They really appreciated it, and they have taken it and built confidence in me. They were giving me lots of confidence. Whereas in Poland back in the day, when I was studying, I didn't feel that I was encouraged to develop my talents. I kind of felt that I'm still trying to really slowly and hardly move up. And it was something that I didn't agree with. I think as a person who's very passionate about educating young people, I think it was a huge mistake by some of the teachers that I had, that discouragement, I just still feel it inside me, that it was just sad.
I can hear it. So it's very conservative or a very hard way of teaching kids or young people who want to. And there, this openness, encouragement, and just using
Absolutely.
the talents and possibilities you had, after all, to become a singer. So you started opera singing there in Glasgow. And looking back at the time, what was for example, a turning point that you said, okay, I want to go with this artistic path and not to be a lawyer or a doctor, for example?
I think when I finished music school, playing flute, so everyone thought that I would go move and play flute. But it actually changed. The passion of singing was there from the beginning, as I remember. And when I got into the academy, I started singing. And at the beginning, it was just to develop the voice. And operatic singing, it takes a lot of time and lots of energy and physical strength. So at the beginning, it was just training, vocal training. And I felt that I was getting better and that I was free to really develop my singing. And I was meeting lots of great teachers, and I could go and explore different operas. It was absolutely amazing. And at that time, I wasn't really thinking about opera singing per se. I think I really didn't like it at the beginning, opera singing. I liked singing, choir singing, just vocal artistry. I think it's amazing.
We put a point here and we continue with the story of Klaudia Kwaśny and her artistic path from the hatred of opera to actually singing opera in the next episode. And again, to all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily Culture, thank you very much for watching our show.